this video, I played the top 3 best Roblox car games with customization, ranking from different things like tuning, body kits, even changing like your different tires, even going ahead and actually being able to change your hue and your saturation of your car color. A lot of different options and a lot of good customization around these games. And yeah, let's get straight to it. Here we are in Drive Empire, and I'm sure most of you guys are actually familiar with this game, and some of you guys actually might be bad in the comments that I actually did include this. But let me actually show you guys what I would actually include this in the top 3. It's definitely not the best, but I do think it is overall like top 3, top 5 spot. So let me go ahead and kind of show you guys the customization. So right here for the customization, we can see performance is nothing really crazy, kind of basic race engine, street engine. The aspiration is pretty basic too. We can see twin turbo supercharged brakes, drift brakes, really nothing crazy. There is some suspension on some cars, just not this one. So yeah, this is kind of mid to be honest. But some of the things which is really cool about the customization on this game is the gradients which it has, and this is for like licensed models like McLaren's. Look at that, it offers different actual license options, which is very cool and unique compared to other games. You can see right here, this changes the interior. You have a carbon spoiler if you guys want, carbon pack, so you can actually get some licensed actual modification to this game. We could add a carbon hood right there, which is very cool. So for example, a car like the TVR Sabera Speed 12, you're able to customize a lot more. We can see stock options right here. Look how many body kits there is. I'm just gonna go through a few, but there is a ton of body kits, and there's a lot of other cars that actually have body kits like this. Very customizable. Now I will say definitely a downside about this is the performance is very like bare bricks. It's very just basic, but one thing they actually are working on is revamping the whole thing, and they're gonna make like tuning kits and stuff like that. I'll kind of pop up a video of what it's gonna look like, but the performance customization is about to get a lot better and a lot more detailed. So that's why I would put this at overall like a 3rd spot, because I do think they are doing a good job. And right here we have the suspension. You can customize the height, you can customize the camber of your wheels, which is very cool. This is almost on every single model, so if we link it right here, boom, we could actually go ahead and change the camber, and then we could actually change the offset, which is crazy. So we could just make it pop out like this, or make them go very in like this, which is very cool. Another great example of the customization which you actually have is the Nissan GTR, the 2011 Nissan GTR. So for example, we can see right now that the GTR is kind of like a wide body, kind of aggressive mode, but let's say we wanted to completely change it up and make it just less aggressive and more of a rally car, like an off-road car. So let's go ahead and deinstall all of this, and just like that, we have completely changed the whole look of this car. It's a lot like more rally now. Let's actually get a different color on this also. It's painted like a nice orange, maybe. It's more like a rally car or off-road car, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, just like that, you can completely change the look of your cars through actual body kits, and they're actually licensed, which is very nice. Definitely a downside I would say about this game is the performance customization, but that is being worked on, and that's why I'm actually going to include this on the top 3. Let's now move on to something that's even better. And the game we are in is Sazo Florida. To be honest, this game has some of my favorite customization. And let me kind of get like this car, for example, so I can actually show you guys and showcase some of the customization they have. Alright, so it's finally daytime in this game, but here we are at the customization shop, the mechanic shop. And let's go ahead and see what some of the customization that this game actually has to offer, because this game has a lot of unique things to offer, which other games don't. So first, we have paint. And right here, you can select paint. You can also do your custom paint, which is very cool. One cool thing I very much like about this is you can select the saturation and the actual lightness of the color which you want, which is very nice. Like saturation, you don't see this in many games. So let's say we wanted a color like this, for example, but we didn't want it to be like too light. We can make it super light, or we can make it kind of dark like this, so you can kind of find like a medium, which is very cool. And then obviously we have reflectance, which a lot of games actually do have. That is also a very cool feature which they actually have, so we can go ahead and purchase that. Nothing too crazy for the paint, but I think the saturation and lightness is very unique. Then moving on, we have performance. Now this is where it gets really good about this game. So starting out, we have different engines. We have stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, and then we have forced induction. So there's 3 stages to this, and supercharging, and there's also 3 stages to that, which is very cool. Brakes, brake bias, rear, I'm not even sure what this means, to be honest, but hey, it's very customizable. We have street, sport, and race brakes, which is very cool. Weight is also very cool. You could do street reduction, sport reduction, and race reduction. So let's go ahead and put that on. And then moving on to tires, we have drift tires or grip tires. Nothing too crazy here. Transmission, you could also do street, sport, and race. And then suspension is where it gets really cool. It's very complicated, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, but look at this. You could customize it however you would want the car. Like, look at this. We can literally just do anything that you really want. I mean, just messing around with some of the things. You could also customize how stiff the suspension is, which is insane. Like, look at this. Front suspension also you can customize. Just look at that. We could make it look completely different. This is where it gets really good. And the wheel width, you could customize how big the wheels actually are. Like, so right here we can see the wheels are very tiny. Let's say you had like a Hellcat and you wanted like the 2 wheels on the back to be super big for like a drag race build or whatever. You can go ahead and do that. Boom. Now I have super big wheels, and then I have very small wheels at the front. So that's a really cool feature also, which they have. Wheel size, you could also customize. Like, look at that. A lot of these games don't offer that. The camber is also amazing in this game. Look at that. Offset, steering. So yeah, you can get very technical, and there's a lot of like actual different builds out there that you can actually figure out how to get the very exact like best builds. They even have different differentials, so like your gearing and stuff, you can select what gears you want. They have so much good stuff. They have body kits also for some cars. So let's say I wanted to put this on. What I was kind of talking about before is, for example, the Challenger wide body. So let's say I wanted to make this very much like a drag build, or I wanted to make the tires very like big in the back, so it actually holds like a lot of traction, let's say. So right here in customization, we can go to performance. Let's scroll all the way here to the wheel width. And then we could see right here that, look at this. Look how big we can make these wheels. Let me go ahead and purchase that. And then let's actually see how this looks when we go ahead and back out. Look at this now, bro. These wheels in the back are huge. It's actually crazy. Let's do like a little launch with it. All right, let's see how fast this thing actually goes. We are low-key moving in this. Look at that GT3 also. Wait, let me actually go show you guys this. Hold on. Like, this just kind of shows what the customization that you could actually do on this. Look at this crazy GT3 RS right here. Look at the customization that they actually did on that. Look how cool that is. I think I also have a GT3 RS in this game. Yeah, right here is my GT3 RS. Let me actually go ahead and show you guys what spec I did for this. Look how cool it is. It looks very, very nice. Only downside about the customization in Sazo Florida is definitely its rims. They only have 2D rims. They do plan on adding 3D rims soon, I'm pretty sure, but that's definitely like downside. It's only the rims. But besides that, they have some of the greatest car customization across every single car game. I could say that very confidently. But there's something that's even better than Driving Empire and Sazo Florida combined, in my opinion. And that game is Midnight Racing Tokyo. Now, we have visited this game before on the channel, but I didn't really go in depth with the customization that this game really has, and it is amazing. I think one of the best cars probably right now that could actually go ahead and show you guys this would be the Nissan GTR Nismo. And here's my Nissan GTR R35 Nismo. We can see it looks already super nice. I already customized it the way which I wanted to. So right here when you spawn in, I'm pretty sure the customization area is just right over here. It's not too far. So here says E to open the tuning shop, and right here where we can see is where it gets very technical. Look at this. We have different steering, and this is so much different than every other game. Like, for example, look at the brakes which we have. You can actually select stage 3, the brake bias. Like, look at this. This is actually crazy. It's very, very good. Look at the weight reduction you can also select. It gets very, very technical. Actually, let me go ahead and unlock this and see what it actually does. Like, look at this. You can change the offset. You can be super technical with it. I think one of my favorite things about this game, though, is that you can actually select, like, the gearing, and that kind of just makes it, look at that. You can select the gearing one by one, and there's builds that get you kind of, like, the best acceleration of the top speed. I mean, this is the most in-depth, most, like, in-detail customization that I've ever seen on any game. It gets really good. It's really, really good. I can also go ahead and swap cars real quick, and I can show you guys what I have on the Murcielago SV. It's nothing too crazy, but I do have gearing, which I actually do believe, like, just changing the transmission levels, like the transmission gearing, like times and stuff, actually brought me from, like, I think 600 something horsepower to, I think, around 700 something. Like, now maxing out at like 767. So it made it a lot faster. So if we go over here to gears real quick, we can see that mine is actually customized. It's not stock at all, and it shows you the torque. It shows you the horsepower. So mine is currently peaking at, I think, what is this, 663. Like, look how nice this is. It shows you the gear times, the RPMs, and everything. It's super in-depth, super good. I like it a lot. I think it's very, very nice. Sadly, I can't really show off the body kits right now, but with the paint, it gets very in-depth. I'm not really going to show you guys too much, but let's say you wanted to change a lot of things at once. So let's say you wanted to change the rear bumper, secondary clear. You could select a bunch of things to actually, like, customize at once. You can change the reflectance and a blend of everything, which is amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the top 3 best Roblox car games with customization. I know some of you guys might disagree, but this is kind of my opinion. Honorable mentions, I would say, would be Vehicle Legends and Greenville. The only thing about Greenville is they don't really have good performance customization, or like not any at all. Let me know what you guys think is the best out of these 3, or if I missed any, let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, that is overall my list. Let me know what you guys think about it. That is pretty much it for today's video. Have a good one, everybody, and bye.